Hey, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. I am so happy that this young lady came back to visit. Tanya Lewis is back for a second time. Tanya, thank you so much for coming back.
Oh, thanks for having me back. And also, thanks
Listen,
for
we had to
calling me
do it. We
young.
had to do it because we didn't finish up your comedy minute. People are clamoring. They want to know what happened.
I know. I get phone calls day and night. What happened? Like, you just have to be
Oh my
patient.
God. Oh my God. All right. Well, last time, and first off, a comedian and author, an unbelievable young lady. Last time we skipped over because I thought you were in the Falkland Islands.
Right.
We established that you're in New York, but somewhere in the interview you talked about Nashville or something. So I don't think you're actually you weren't born. Were you born and raised in New York? Give me
Oh,
a little
a
backstory.
little bit about my backstory. Yeah, born and raised in Ossining, the home of Sing Sing. Oh, and little prison in the house.
Little
Uh,
prison in the house.
from
All
there,
right.
and then I just moved around the country a lot. And one of the places I lived was Nashville for
Yeah, that's you
9 years.
mentioned that.
hmm
And being
And
in the radio business in
that's right.
Nashville. That's how you started doing comedy.
Yes. I
Okay.
had to go there to come back here to do comedy. I
Yeah.
realized that.
Well, and since you've been on the show, you went to Columbia.
I did. But I didn't do comedy there. I mean, I did my
No,
own branch of comedy.
no, but I think you did a triathlon.
Of course.
You did a
I mean,
triathlon and you did some interpreter work.
like I was
You wanted to do
busy.
translator.
My agenda was full. I didn't have time to perform in a club. These are some of my hobbies. I joined Ironman contests. Yes. I don't know if you
Triathlon, I thought it
realize.
was.
Yeah, well, it was they called it the
Oh my
Ironman
God.
because it had it all. It had
Yeah,
the
yeah, you posted on
swimming.
Instagram. I'm gonna post your Instagram links and everything because yeah, you posted a video there, well, a couple
hmm
videos.
And yeah, I had already a post race video. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to check that out, then he'll hear all about my experience of being an athlete for sure. Hardcore athlete over here.
Well, and the interpreter, I thought that was good. You're
Well,
gonna translate for the people.
little volunteer work. I,
Just a little problem, just a little problem with it.
I'm giving back. Giving back to the
Yeah,
community
but
that welcomed
you
me.
didn't speak the language.
Not a bit, And I'm a I'm a world traveler for crying out loud. You think
I
I'd know
well, all
another
right, we're
language?
moving on. I mentioned the book last time, The Other Guide to the World, Atlas Snubbed. And I just love I love the whole thing. I love everything about it, everything we talked about. And you mentioned Kazakhstan. And do you remember I told you about my buddy Yuri Talachko?
You certainly did. Yes, you told me all about him. He fell
I
in
have
love with
enough.
inanimate objects, I believe.
Yeah, well,
A
he
man
had.
after my own heart. Shush.
Yeah, well, I told you that this is the major update. I want you to be excited about this.
You only.
Yuri, I told you he, got involved with his sex dolls. He married the sex doll. Then he cheated on the sex doll with an inanimate object in a
Mhm.
supermarket chicken. Then he fell in love with an ashtray, and he wanted to get with a human being. He's with a man. He's with a fella.
Oh, so he just like bypassed women altogether. He just went
I
right.
don't know. Listen, that I'm just happy for him.
Well, that's fantastic. A real live breathing flesh and blood.
Yeah, he wanted to get with somebody human. He wanted.
I mean, imagine their first date. So tell me about your previous romances. What are some of the things you would
I
do on your
wanted.
date?
I, I are you going to? I jumped over Colombia. Is that going to be in book two? Or are you going to put part of your travels in Colombia in book two?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because a lot of people will say, oh, well, they see that I wrote a book about all the countries in the world and they always want to know where I'm going to travel next. And I just tell them, Mars, because that's what the sequel is
Oh,
going to
that's
be.
coming up. I
Yeah,
got that coming up.
that's my next trip. So I need
Okay.
I
Jeff
need a
Bezos,
solid six
Bezos,
months.
or who's the other guy? Branford, or the Virgin Airlines, Branson. Not
Oh, they'll
Branson. What's
send
his
you
name?
right out into orbit. Yeah.
Well, whatever. They're going to get you up there.
I don't really want to spend my time with those nut jobs. They think that they're
Well,
just like
you want to get
gods
to
of the
space.
sky.
I don't want to jump ahead because I want to. Besides the book and everything, last
Mhm.
time you mentioned some cards, and I had a
Yeah,
real laugh at the cards you have. You have two different.
I
You
do.
love baseball,
Love baseball.
and so you decided to make some trading cards.
Right. But
Okay,
as my homage to baseball trading cards, I made a couple decks. One, you can see that's called the Miscreants of History. So
right.
this is all the all the
Pull it back, and can you show what's on the other side? What's
oh,
on the
this
other
just
side?
tells you
Okay, the
about it,
instructions on
right?
how to play.
And these are how to play. Basically, you trade them for, like, say you got the Hitler card or you got the Warren Jeffs card, who was one of my personal favorite religious freaks, right? He's doing time in the I think Utah
Right,
penitentiary right
right.
now. You got some also like Jim Jones is down
Yeah, yeah,
here. You
yeah.
got
That's the
Aline
Gatorade. That's the Kool-Aid.
Ornos,
That's the Kool-Aid, right?
Jeffrey. Yeah, don't drink
Right.
it.
Yeah, I know my serial killers. I know I know my
You know
I'm
your
good at
cults
that.
of personality. It's got them all in here.
Okay,
And,
good.
and each
And
card
again, I'm
tells
going
a
to put
little
the
bit
links to
about their
your
stat.
website. I'm going to
Mhm.
put the links to your website so that people can order, and they can start trading.
Start right away. I mean, before the second
Absolutely. Order
edition comes
tonight. As
out.
soon as you watch this video, I want you getting on. Maybe we get up an 800 number. Now, Sean, you have another set of cards, which I
I
think
do.
these are real interesting. I like these.
This is the single men dating card. See this guy?
Yeah.
He's the typical guy, ladies. This is your typical guy. He's going to take you on a typical date and talk about typical
Hey,
things.
I don't know why they call it hamburger helper. It's good all by itself.
Let's see if I can
Yeah,
find
pull
it
one out and
here.
let's read it. Let's see what we have.
Let's see. Let's see.
Okay. All right, good.
Okay, we'll start with him. And what does he mean? Like, oh, because he's typical. He's from Main Street, USA. And every time you hear a phrase like 9 out of 10 men say this, the typical guy is one of those 9 men. That's right.
Okay. Try one more. Pick one more. Pick
Okay,
one
okay,
more for me.
okay. Pick another one.
Because
Pick.
I was just a typical guy. I want to see what else you got what in your trick bag there.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see what this guy is.
Oh, this is the geeky guy.
Yeah,
This,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
this guy, ladies, is found in Macungie, Pennsylvania.
Oh, there you go. I couldn't do that
He
again,
is
could I?
he frequents places like the bathroom. That's where he goes a lot. Things like let's see, a
That sounds
typical
like me.
date. Anything you suggest will go because he can't argue. He's not doing anything else. So he's gonna go out with you and do anything you want to do. He's not gonna have
Absolutely.
much to contribute in the conversation, ladies.
That's me.
So bring a book
Bring a
because
book. Bring a book. Bring
and
a book.
political affiliations, the Justice League. That's him.
Okay. Well, and I got since we're going down that rabbit hole, we're going to keep going.
Mhm.
You mentioned last time board games, and I spent a little time. More Monopoly was and then as if that is maybe a little about more Monopoly, and I thought that was good.
Oh yeah, I mean that's it's a one of a kind. And it's
Okay,
under
but
my
I'll tell
bed
you what,
right
if you don't
now.
want to talk about it, I'll give you your choice because I really like this one. This one, and I don't know how I missed this one.
Oh, go ahead.
Dateandancestor.com.
Well, that's when I wanted to start my own dating website. So,
I loved
and if you're tired of Homo sapiens, you might
it.
want to hook up with a Neanderthal man, a Homo erectus man, a Homo habilis,
go
have
over
you, the
go over to this
toolmaker.
young lady's website. you can order any of the
You can get yourself our deceased
Mormonology,
ancestor.
more Monopoly, some
Hmm.
trading cards. You might be able to find a good Neanderthal. Oh my gosh, you are too
And
fun.
you can't be like upset, ladies, if like a Neanderthal man doesn't call you back. That's just because he doesn't know what a telephone is.
He
It's
doesn't
not,
have a
he
telephone.
doesn't, it's not that he
What the
doesn't
hell are
love
you talking
you.
about? I didn't even have a telephone.
They're very good at grooming.
Grooming. They're
They
all
like,
just
they like to run their fingers through your hair. You might end up with a few loose nails in there, but I say give it a shot because
okay.
dating world is pretty tough now. And I think more Monopoly speaks for itself, right? You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Get all your we
Collect
jumped
all
over.
today. I'm
Do
practically
you
giving them away. I'm like Crazy Eddie. Like
do you want to tell the people about Colombia a little bit? Because we got to get to your comedy minute, but also I wanted to. There was one other thing. As far as Colombia, was that a good time? Did you have a great time?
it was great. It was too I learned my lesson about international travel. Never go for less than a week. I didn't spend long enough there.
Okay.
It was a short trip, and a friend of mine got food poisoning on our trip, so she
Oh,
missed a
yeah,
lot of stuff. So that kind of
yeah,
sucked. Don't drink the water, but
yeah.
but the people there are really friendly. It's a beautiful country. I had a great time. Loved the weather. Came back and froze my ass off. So,
First time you've ever been there.
hmm.
Cool, cool. Do you plan on traveling a lot more?
Oh, of course. I love traveling. And
And
I like to travel more and do more comedy, like in other countries and stuff. There's
okay.
a lot of opportunity for that. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We can talk because again, I think the world of you and I've done with all over. And there's places you that just they're just dying for
literally.
it. I didn't. No, I didn't mean to set that up. But I don't want to run out of time this time. But I wanted to make sure because the last one we talked about Stephen Hawking,
Yes.
Carl Sagan,
Yes.
and you're a space enthusiast.
Hmm.
So now I'm going to bet you know what my question is.
I haven't the foggiest. No, I don't.
You are you kidding me?
It could be anything. We're talking about a universe worth of questions.
The drones. What about all these drones?
Oh,
What do
false
you think?
flag.
Now, and I'll be serious for 2.3 seconds. Hopefully, we get this on the air before it's not a story anymore. But what do you think about these drones?
Oh, I think that they're wasting their time on the eastern seaboard. I mean, we've already captured all that. I don't know. I think it's
No, you know
nothing
what? Let's
nothing
not be too
nefarious.
serious, but we're very rarely serious when you and I get together.
Oh,
But, uh, in other words, if you want my opinion, not that you're asking, but I'll give you here's my 1 cent. It's 4 cents now, it's up, inflation.
go ahead.
My 2 cents would be it's some kind of TikTok trend that kids fly drones and will make a scene or just report shit. That's my take.
Oh, that's what you think.
Well,
Well,
I
then,
mean, I could be totally wrong.
well, everybody needs permission and they need to be a licensed pilot to fly their
No,
drone.
but if you get enough
So it
TikTok,
might be a bunch of rednecks just having
shooting
a
shit up.
case of Bud, getting a little, they got into like their geeky guy friend's bedroom and found
You're
like, oh,
missing.
he's got all these toys. And
Yeah, but
it's like the modern day with those cars, those remote control truck cars. That's all it is. Like that's what they're doing.
no, seriously, enough of my nonsense. I'll try to be serious.
Oh, I think it is a military operation. They want to drum up some fear for no reason. That's what I think.
Really?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I do believe it's benign. I think this kind of stuff happens a lot. I
Oh
just
no.
the
Well, okay.
government lies to us a
All
lot.
right. Do you believe in UFOs?
Um, the possibility, well, what do you mean by that? Do I believe that there's
Well, I don't want to run out
unidentified
of time. We
objects?
got to get your
Yeah.
comedy minute in, but In
Okay.
other words, my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies early on when I was younger, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Love
Like
that
if we're
movie.
visited by aliens. Well, I
Absolutely.
definitely think it's credible that intelligent life forms exist in the universe, and I don't discount people's testimonials if they believe they saw something. I just haven't come across any hardcore evidence. But if
Okay.
there is, I am open-minded about it.
Okay, so you don't really believe in them.
No, no, we misunderstood. I'm
Okay. Oh no, I did
I
because in other words, when I watched Close Encounters of the
mhm.
Third Kind, I said, "Well, that seems awful real. That could happen."
Well, certainly. I think I saw that movie
No,
when I
I
was
was
a little.
pretty stoned. I was pretty stoned. I may have been drunk too.
Then any kind of encounter is possible at that
Exactly.
point.
I think I might have had an experience there in the theater.
I would think it's preposterous to think that we exist here in this
Right.
universe, in our galaxy, just in our galaxy alone. So I think it's possible. Um, I just until that there's some real artifacts that prove to be otherworldly, then I'm gonna remain skeptical. How about that?
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to beat it up. I don't want to beat it up.
Yeah.
I thought of you. I had a young man on the other night. He's in New Jersey, and he was shocked because I don't know if you heard this that they say if one's down, at least this is what they said. I think Saturday or Sunday, don't go near it, and if you do, you should have a hazmat suit on.
That's it. That's called cover thy ass, the military.
Okay.
Make sure they don't get sued because they're up to no good, you know. I think there's a lot of those stories that have been leaking out. It is,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
I don't know.
All
It's,
right.
is it a
Well, I
distraction? I'm not
know, I
sure.
know. I want to mention because you have a one coming up here in January. Hopefully, I'll get it on the air. You and your buddy Randy Lupo, is that right?
That's
At the
right.
Turning Point, something like that. Is that right?
Yes, I'm glad you asked me because the date got changed,
Oh,
actually.
did
We
it?
had to
Okay.
move the date to January 10th, so it's a week later.
Well, I'll try and get it on. I think we can get this on before then.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
do what I
appreciate
can
it.
for you. You know I will. I
Yeah.
think the water, but yeah, I wanted to mention because you do that every month, and you know,
It's every like 2 months or
okay,
so.
whatever. Turning Point. What? Go ahead and tell everybody because I'm just
Oh, Turning Point
broad
in
swipe.
Piermont, New York, January 10th, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Come by, say hi, and I'll have all
Yeah.
these things that you could get. You could get my
Yeah.
cards, you can get
Yeah.
my
There you
book,
go.
or if you just want to listen to stand-up comedy, we got a great lineup. Funny. It's gonna be really good.
Okay. Well, you can mention anybody. You can do anything you want, darling. I'll tell you what though. I want to make sure you cover everything you want to cover, but do not. I cannot let it happen this time. And I'm giving you extra time
Oh
to
yeah?
do your comedy minute because people are clamming. You said your phone's ringing. We got to finish up.
What happened?
What happened? And I'm being honest, even I don't know what happened. And we spoke
Nobody
for 10 minutes
knows.
after the interview was over. We talked on the phone, and I still don't know what happened.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder what happened because I'm not quite sure if I
Well,
remember.
now take it from the beginning, and then I'll tell you where
Oh,
we
you
left
want me
off.
to
You know where we left off? I know exactly
I
where we
do
left off.
remember. I do remember. Well, I could just kind of brush over.
Well, yeah, just whatever you want to do. This is your comedy minute. And I'm sorry if I'm acting silly.
No, not a
You
problem.
made me a little giddy. Go
Well,
ahead.
going back to the time where
Hang
I
on. Let me
dressed
let me
up.
do a formal introduction.
Okay.
We'll call it round two. Tanya Lewis, your comedy minute, round two. Here we go, kids.
Great. So just to bring you up to speed, there was a time not many Christmases ago where I dressed up as a sign. Yes, I was that
Okay.
hard up for dough. So I walked up and down 42nd Street and not, I guess I was more dressed than some other people that walk up and down 42nd
Because
Street.
it's a cardboard sign.
Big cardboard sign, Lord and
Liquidation
Taylor
sale.
going out of
Liquidation
business,
sale.
up
Liquidation
and
sale.
down.
Right. Got it.
And sometimes I'm standing out there for 5, 6 hours. It's freezing. And my boyfriend at the time, he brought me by a little treat, those little airplane bottles of liquor, something to keep me warm for the time being, but it also had to make me pee. And I waited
Yeah.
close to the end of the shift one night to go in to a place, take off the sign, go in the bathroom, come back out, the sign's gone, missing. It doesn't grow feet. Like, who wants this thing? It's like 70 pounds. It's ridiculous. And I'm kind of panicked because I'm not going to get paid if I
Huge
don't bring back
cardboard
my sign.
sign
Big
is
cardboard,
gone. It's gone.
gone,
Everybody else, it's gone.
disappeared.
Yeah. You went to the bathroom, come out of the bathroom, and the sign is gone.
What? Like what? Uh, Nobody saw anything. Just like typical New Yorker. I asked the clerk, no, we
Right.
didn't see anything. I go out right around the corner. Wouldn't you
This is
know?
where we left off. You
I
walk
see
down
the
the road
sign.
and you saw
Mhm.
a guy and he's putting the second floor on his
On
cardboard
his
house.
cardboard house. I mean, it's a
Okay.
nice addition. I understand. It goes nicely with what he has going on. And his and
Maybe maybe he
he
had company. Maybe he had
and
guests.
he seems a little, little like a screw's loose. No, I mean, could a
Well,
screw
yeah,
be
yeah,
loose
yeah.
by taking a sign that says going out
Please.
of business? I mean, why wouldn't anyone want
Homeless
that?
guy in New York. What is he? A think tank? What is he? A bouillabaisse of info? Okay, take me from you're going down the sidewalk, you see the guy, you see the
You guys,
sign. What happened?
I go up to him, um,
Right.
as polite as I can, because it's a little intimidating.
Excuse me,
He's a
sir.
little on the loud
Excuse me.
side. I said,
Excuse me.
"Excuse me, sir. I seem to have
Misplaced my
misplaced
sign.
my sign. I believe you have it. So I think there's been a misunderstanding here." And he was like, "It's my sign. I found it." I'm like, "Yeah, you found it in that restaurant right around the corner. I was just using the bathroom. It's mine." Like, and then he started to yell, like loud, like be
Okay, all
really
right, all right.
intimidating. This is my effing sign.
You can say fucking.
I worked for this sign.
This is my fucking sign.
And I'm like, I kind of like, I'm in this.
Oh God.
You would think, why not concede? It's just a cardboard sign. I'm not going to get paid if I don't come back. I just stood outside for 5 hours and froze my ass off. That sign's coming back with me.
Did you get it?
I said, I need that sign. I can't get it. And he just like, I don't know, had a moment of schizophrenia that touched him.
And did he give
And
it to you?
he wouldn't give it to me. I was like, God, all right, I have a $5 bill. This is how much do I ever want to do this job again, let alone buy this sign from this guy? I was like, maybe I can help him out. I offered him five. He was like, absolutely not. Would not cave in. I'm like, are you kidding me? He was like,
This is
this
great.
is my sign. I found it. It fits perfectly. This is just what I've been looking for. I'm like, this, a Lord and Taylor sign is what you've been looking for. I didn't say that, but I was thinking. So I get frustrated. I walk away, and then I turn around. I was like, no way. I just realized, wait a minute. I go into my butt and my underwear where I hid those 3 bottles of vodka that I had.
No shit.
Right, the little airplane bottles that I
Right. No, I'm familiar with them.
so I had 2 left, and I said, "How about for these?" He was like, "Fine, this sign is ugly anyhow. I don't want it. Take get this fucking sign out of here." Bother me with this sign. And
Did,
he,
you have to give him the $5 too.
I didn't give him the $5. He didn't want
Just
it.
the
He
two
wanted
airplane
the liquor.
bottles.
He didn't put it
Ah,
together that maybe he could buy 2 bottles of liquor with the $5. But whatever.
but see, now you said it wasn't great. It was great.
Oh,
The story was great, and
this is
there was so
ridiculous.
much more to it. Oh my God, Tanya, that was fantastic. I'm a fat old asshole, but I was on the edge of my seat. So to finish up, and we got to finish up because we're going to run out of time, and I don't want to do it again. But so you got the sign back. You
The
gave him
ugly sign that he didn't want. I didn't
you
want this
gave him the
shit
two
anymore.
airplane bottles. Got the sign back. Lord and Taylor.
Went out of business, and I helped them.
It's good to know
hmm
that you busted your. But you brought the sign back and got your money.
I got more money. It still came back for another
Ah,
5 or 6 shifts after that.
it's a heartwarming tale, kids. For those of you that didn't get to see part one, part two is just
A Christmas tale.
a Christmas tale. Oh my gosh, Tanya, I think you're phenomenal. Your friend said on YouTube that you and I should
Thank you
do a
very
radio
much.
show. Maybe we should. I'm telling you, I just love you.
There, as long as we got a radio, we could just put a radio up as a
Well,
prop, and then
maybe when the aliens come down, they'll give us a radio station. You and me, you called us. You
I'm
that
game.
lady that didn't believe in us, we're putting her on the air. We got her sign.
Our first guest will be aliens, yes.
We'll be aliens.
And I'm still like an alien could be sitting right in front of me, and I'm like, I let me see your ID. Like,
Let me see your
what
ID.
galaxy? Like, I
Oh
don't believe
my.
you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for
From
letting
the
me come
bottom of my
back.
heart. I think you're wonderful. You're welcome back anytime.
Had
Um,
a good time. Appreciate it. And thanks for letting me get that
yeah,
story
no,
out.
I think
People
it's
can go to
important,
sleep tonight.
especially because I was wondering.
I know. It must have been painful. Like
Well, it didn't bother you. You went to Columbia. You didn't give a shit. You were in
I knew.
Columbia going, boy, poor Scotty never got to hear the end of my story.
And I was thinking, I know what happens.
Yeah, well, and your friend even commented.
Mhm.
She did you see that on YouTube?
Yes, I did.
She's like, oh, what happened to the story?
I
So
have
for nobody else, we know we're gonna have one viewer, one
at
indeed.
least actually two, and someone else did message me
Oh,
wanting to
okay.
know. I thought I knew all
Cool.
your stories.
Cool. Well, we got two fans. And
Mhm.
then maybe the aliens will come down.
I
Hey,
hope
look,
so. Beam me up.
thank you from bottom of my heart.